What if I told you there's serious talk inside Lucasfilm about decanonizing parts of the sequel trilogy? Like it was all a dream type stuff. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today, it's all about Star Wars. Now, before you roll your eyes, stick around because later in the video, we're going to break down why those rumors actually started, who's pushing that idea, why it actually says a lot about where Star Wars is heading next. Right now, the franchise is in a weird spot. Some of the best content we've ever seen just dropped in the last few years, and some of the worst as well. But there are signs, real signs, that Star Wars might finally get back on track. And as a Star Wars fan from 5 years old and on, my fingers are crossed. I mean, we've got new movies, we've got shakeups behind the scenes, Disney rethinking its entire strategy, and we're going to break it all down. So drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. And let's start with the new Jedi Order, the next trilogy. The biggest piece, right? The next Star Wars trilogy. The first confirmed movie is the new Jedi Order film, starring Daisy Ridley as Rey, directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. Now, it's set 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. Rey is rebuilding the Jedi Order from scratch. But here's the issue. There's still a massive divide in the fandom. Some want closure. Others just don't care anymore. Now, this isn't part of a numbered trilogy yet, but it's likely the first step towards 3 more. Well, 2 more after that. If it does well, expect 2 more to follow. But with no clear overarching story and no confirmation on follow-ups, it already feels shaky, and it already feels like the 4th time we've been on this merry-go-round. So, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Disney officially has 3 Star Wars movie slots locked in. May 2026, December 2026, and December 2027. That is a lot of big screen Star Wars films in a short amount of time. Now, here's what might actually fill them. Dave Filoni's Mandalorian movie, which ties together, of course, Mando, Ahsoka, and the New Republic storyline. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie, which is set 25,000 years in the past, which I really, really hope this one happens. I would love to go back there and see what's actually going on here, and that opens up the universe just on an exponential level, and possibly Taika Waititi's project. Though it's been quiet, it might be dead. And honestly, I don't have a lot of faith in that one. If he's going to kind of go at it like he did Thor Love and Thunder, I'm not really about it. And then we have Rogue Squadron, quietly canceled. Kevin Feige's movie, also canceled. And Johnson's trilogy, still in development. Don't hold your breath. Disney is trimming the fat. They're no longer greenlighting everything, and that's actually a really, really good thing. Now, let's slide over to Disney Plus. What's working? What's not? I mean, I think we can all agree, right? I mean, streaming was the big push under Bob Chapek, and it burned out fast. So some shows hit hard. Andor, everybody's calling it a masterpiece. The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 laid solid groundwork. Ahsoka, it got mixed reviews, but expanded the lore. And me personally, I think it was fantastic. But then we have the Book of Boba. I honestly thought this was one of the most boring Star Wars shows I've ever watched, and it felt super rushed. Obi-Wan had strong moments. A lot of people said that it fumbled the execution, but I'm very partial to Obi-Wan and Anakin, so I tend to lean towards I thought it was good. And then, of course, The Acolyte. I'm not even going to go into The Acolyte. The Acolyte got acolyted. Now, Disney's new strategy under Bob Iger is fewer, better projects. Same as over on the Marvel camp, which means some shows in development probably won't make it. So you can probably expect cuts of things that they've actually been talking about. Now, why was some of this canceled? Well, Rogue Squadron. It was officially shelved. I mean, Lando was in development. Well, it was in development limbo, and then it was turned into a movie. Now no one knows what is going on. I guess they're worried that it would get the Solo treatment. I mean, Donald Glover said it's happening, but we don't know. Then you had the Star Wars Hunter game. That was delayed multiple times. Animated projects beyond Vision Season 3 are super unclear. And then there's Simon Kinberg's rumored trilogy. Now, given how Dark Phoenix went, I'm pretty sure we keep that one in the vault. And it's kind of wild that we have 2 rumored trilogies out there in the ethos at one time. I don't know what I think about that. I really, really don't. What I do know is when I talk about Dave Filoni, I get a little bit of confidence. Now, multiple reports suggest Kathleen Kennedy's on her way out after the next few releases. We've seen all the announcements. Could be up to a year, find the predecessor, all that good stuff, right? Now, Dave Filoni's already been promoted to Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm, that's a big deal. He is now involved in all story development across TV and film, which I think was the best call. I mean, to me, this guy gets Star Wars. He learned directly under George Lucas. I mean, Tony Gilroy from Andor and Jon Favreau from Mandalorian, they're also in the mix creatively. To me, that is a very good trio for the future of Star Wars, especially for true Star Wars fans. So if Disney will let this trio shape the future, I think Star Wars might actually stabilize for the first time in over a decade, which just makes me sad to say. Now, in the beginning, we talked about a rumor. Let's circle back to that. There were legit discussions, mostly from fans, some insiders, that parts of the sequel trilogy could be sidelined or reframed using multiverse logic. And I know your head is about to explode. Some of you are just feeling really mad waves of rage right now. Hold on. I mean, Disney isn't going to publicly decanonize anything, but using something like the World Between Worlds, which was introduced in Rebels, that could give them room to pivot or soft reset the timeline. The fact is that even a serious theory says a lot. It's not just about retconning, it's about fixing tone, it's about fixing structure and lore breaks that fans still haven't gotten over. And if there's one thing Star Wars is known for, it's breaks in lore, or things that don't fit in the timeline, or they're not canon, or they go against canon. I'm not even going to get started on the Acolyte. Oh my gosh. So I guess I understand the mindset, but you have to be careful when you're messing with people's legacies. You really do. Fans are attached to all of these. Now, maybe the sequels they wouldn't have a problem with, but the prequels, they have found new love, and fans would be pretty upset. So, where are we heading here? Where are we heading with Star Wars? We're going to be covering a lot of Star Wars here on the channel. If you guys have specific things you want me to talk about or cover, definitely let me know in the comments. I read every single comment on every single video. And here's where we're at. Star Wars movies, they're coming back. That is going to be the focus, which to me is a good thing. Disney Plus getting scaled way down. Same like I keep referring to Marvel. Same thing. Going down on Disney Plus, going up on the big screen. That's how it should be. Filoni, Favreau, and Gilroy are quietly taking control, which is perfect for me. And I think there's a clear effort to win fans back. I don't want to say that, and then we come back and watch this video in a year and they do something stupid like the Acolyte 2, and then we're looking at each other like, why did we trust them? But I do get the vibe that they're trying to win fans back. Biggest question is whether this franchise is willing to let go of the mistakes, move forward with this bold, cohesive storytelling, and actually be humble. Admit you messed up. Whether that means Rey becomes something bigger, or we dive into the old Republic, or we finally leave the Skywalker shadow behind, this is the moment that they need to make with clarity. I don't mind Rey. I think Rey was a great character. I just thought the writing was really bad. And it got worse, obviously, progressively as we got towards the end. But then again, if you're going to have her do this again and rebuild it, we've seen this happen. This will be the 4th time in a row. So a lot of people, they don't want to go down that. But then other people, they're Star Wars fans like me, and they'll digest anything you put in front of them. We just want to go watch a Star Wars movie at the movie theater. But I am for the leave the Skywalker shadow behind. I would love to dive into the Old Republic. I truly would. So you let me know what you want from Star Wars next. Is it more grounded stuff like Andor, or do you want big theatrical trilogies, or just something that actually feels like Star Wars again? I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon.